Salutations, Utopians. Hope all is well in your world. So, I want to recap the WNBA Finals. Uh, Shout out to the 2025 World Champs, Las Vegas Aces. Last season, they brandished a lot of players to help represent the country in the Olympics. Um, so they kind of fell short, but this year, winning 3 out of 4 years the WNBA championship on something unbelievable. Asia Wilson, co-defensive player of the year, MVP, Finals MVP. I mean, it doesn't get more magical than that. The only player I remember, the first ever player to do that. Shout out to Yolanda Griffith of the Sacramento Monarchs. Showing my age a little bit, but um, just absolutely amazing season, regardless of who you thought should have won, who shouldn't. I actually had Alyssa Thomas as the MVP, um, and you can't go wrong. Nafisa, Alyssa Thomas, uh, Shorty in Atlanta. Um, Anyone you pick that for the Dream, I can't remember her name, but she played in the All Star and everything. She wears the goggles. But whoever you thought, you couldn't go wrong. There was amazing. This was an amazing performance. There was some amazing performers this season in the W. Um, First and foremost, I found it very interesting. Uh, she just speaking of Asia Wilson, the way she just kept shooting over the top of the defense. They had no answers for her. I found it very interesting in that elimination game. They finally tried to go to 6-7. Nate Tibbet, before getting ejected, tried to go to 6-7. Kalani Brown, her minutes immediately impacted the game. This is what I felt it was missing for the Lynx. They need someone like that kind of size next to Nafisa. Um, the second point is, speaking of Alyssa Thomas, I felt like when she chopped, going for that ball, that lead pass from Chelsea Gray, who felt the need to stand up for her because I guess she knows that was her pass I think it was her, Jackie Young, that kind of put her in that vulnerable zone. Uh, the way she chopped her for that ball, that kind of needed to happen earlier. You know what I mean? They needed to play like that in game one. They waited until elimination to get physical. The physicality in putting 6-7 Kalani Brown in the game were the two big mistakes. The two things that I noticed the most that were missing from this series. Uh, it was almost like they didn't think they could do to the Aces what they were doing to everybody else throughout the playoffs, and they paid for it dearly. A lot of their supporting cast, Makani did a great job. Dewana Bonner had some key stops and found her offense in Game Three. Looked very good, driving the basketball. Surprisingly, considering at this age when she moves, it looks like she's on stilts. No shade, but um, it's kind of crazy that you see that her going off the way she did in Game Three. Uh, I didn't like the West Bell minutes. Natasha Mack disappeared for them. Sammy didn't shoot as great either. It was just an overall supporting cast. Just they needed more and they didn't get it, but they did have something in Makani, who I think is definitely. I'm looking forward to seeing her growth next season. Uh, the Aces, I mean, what a complete 180 turn from after they got Nalissa Smith from the Wings. Nalissa Smith, what a great story. As some of you might remember, she was on that Indiana Fever team for Caitlin Clark's rookie year. Stephanie White felt the need to bench her for Fog Bentley, who's now with the expansion Golden State Valkyries, who had a successful bid this season. But yeah, she went to the bench first round and got benched in the first round. And to see her come full circle when the Wings looked like a dead end, and it was reported that her passion and love for the game was dwindling, and then finding herself again with the Aces. Who knew that was the piece that they needed? I felt like the Aces needed more. Uh, Also, Dana Evans was a great Cinderella story. Nobody seen this from her with the Sky. She was on a championship team, but as a rookie, I think it was, and wasn't as impactful. But as a rookie, she's seen what it looked like. Went to the Sky last season, looked completely lost to emerge into a finals hero and a feel good story. Uh, that was amazing. It was an overall great bid. And then Becky Hammond, obviously, Greg Popovich disciple. Um, Winning championships 3 out of the last 4 seasons. Some people were questioning whether she should be fired. They were calling for her job mid-season. Um, to a complete, like I said, 180 to them winning a championship. Magical season. The Aces have done so much with so many Olympic representatives, from Chelsea Gray to Jackie Young, who had clutch basket after clutch basket. It was bittersweet. She's the all-time leading scorer in Indiana high school basketball history, men or women. That Indiana is a true basketball state. For her to be number one all time in scoring is amazing. She had a magical run as well. Can't leave her out. Just the overall performance of the Aces was amazing. Uh, Phoenix moving off Brittany Griner, coming off of losing Diana Taurasi, who's a top 10 pioneer in women's sports, regardless of what sport, and a top 20 political figure just for the game of sport, for the sports in general, and what she's meant to basketball. And her retiring last year, and for them the next season to make it all the way to the finals, regardless, is a testament to Alyssa Thomas and all the contributions that she made this season with this team. Sammy Whitcomb had an amazing uh, 4 game run in terms of 3 point shooting, 7 threes or more this season. There was just a lot of amazing players. They really had a 7 seconds or less X type environment in Phoenix. You heard Angel Reese speak glowingly about the fans and how it's just purely basketball. Uh, Great market, great team. I felt privileged following them from the beginning of the season, and though they didn't win a championship, they definitely did a number for me in terms of getting through this long, grueling season. Um, this was a definite tough watch for me this season to see the WNBA. A lot of games were redundant. Kathy Engelbert presenting the award. It's unfortunate to see her get booed the way she did, because at the end of the day, it reminds me of what they say. It takes a lifetime to build a reputation. It takes minutes to lose it. And she's supposed to be a pioneer. She's the first ever woman CEO, I think, of a Fortune 500 company, I believe. And now you see her getting booed the way she is, when she's merely the messenger to a bigger entity. She's just a paralegal to the attorney. Yes, paralegals do a lot of day-to-day work the attorneys don't do, but uh, she, at the end of the day, has someone to answer to, and she's just merely following through on instructions. But yet she's going to take all the heat, and it's unfortunate watching her trying to present that award last night. But the WNBA has some work to do now moving forward. Hopefully, we'll see a successful collective bargaining agreement. It's looking crazy right now. Now, Saudi Arabia stepping in. They're talking about starting a 6-team league. So it's it's going to be a crazy roller coaster this offseason, and very polarizing. More than half the league, 90% of the league, is free agents. We're going to see how this thing plays out. But right now, this video is just congratulating the Las Vegas Aces on another successful bid. It was a privilege to watch A'ja Wilson. Glad to see her get everything in full speed, including her signature shoe. Hopefully, I'll go out and cop the A1s. Our Utopians, hope this video was informative. Try to do better next time. Global out.